Hi, this is Alex Helmbrecht, the Sports Information Director at Chadron State College, and I'm sitting here this morning with Chadron State head football coach Bill O'Boyle. The Eagles had a tough homecoming against Colorado State University-Pueblo, the 14th ranked team in Division II, suffering a 38-28 loss at home last Saturday. For all intents and purposes, the game was pretty close throughout. Coach, it just seems Pueblo kind of made the plays that they needed to when they had to make them.
Yeah, Pueblo's a great football team. We've said that all along, and they don't make mistakes. One thing, they haven't turned the ball over hardly at all this year. Their quarterback hasn't thrown an interception all year. So, and once again, we had three interceptions that really hurt us on some key drives.
Pueblo scored on 4 straight drives from beginning in the second quarter and ending in the third quarter. Included on that was a Kyle Major 50-yard field goal. Chadron State, though, didn't wilt. Glenn Clinton pulled the game within 24-21 with a 19-yard run, his first touchdown run of the season. But Pueblo came right back and responded with another run of their own and then scored again in the fourth quarter to kind of put the game away. Coach, obviously the onus for the defense was to stop Pueblo's running game. They kind of had a nice two-headed monster, J.B. Matthews and Jesse Lewis, entering the game. Both of those guys were limited to less than 80 yards. However, quarterback Russ Dawson was 18 for 20, threw for 272 yards. Tough to get a win when a quarterback is almost perfect.
Yeah, and they do a great job of controlling the ball. And, you look at his completion, I think if he was 18 and 20, I would say 6 of those, if not 7 of those, were screens. So short throwing game. They really didn't stretch the field that much on us at all. They just do a good job of controlling the ball. And once again, we didn't execute when we had our drives going on offense and didn't come up with any points. So especially with those turnovers. So things you can't do versus good football teams.
I know it's kind of hard to find positives for a loss, especially just a couple days after it. But, Coach, I thought the special teams played incredibly well. 2 nice returns from Quinnell Atkins and Michael Madkins that set up scores. There was a field goal block. Jake McCrary blocked a field goal there in the fourth quarter. And the punt coverage unit did a nice job of shutting down their best returner, Josh Sandoval. He entered the game averaging almost 24 yards a return, and his long return of the day was just 12 yards.
Yeah, Tanner Tetro, he's our defensive back GA. He's in charge of our special teams, and he's done an excellent job all year. The guy puts in so much time, and we all help as much as we can, and we've really had some kids step up, Alex. I mean, that it shows when you put that much time into special teams during practice, which we do. And, the kids are starting to understand the schemes a little bit more. I'm really, just like you said, I'm really happy about our kickoff return team right now. They've put us in some great situations, given us a short field to drive the ball, and hopefully that'll continue.
The Eagles also received a big day from Brandon Gorsuch. Ironically enough, it was the second time a CSC quarterback has thrown for 315 yards, but both of those happened to happen during a loss. John McClain threw for 315 against Angelo State. That was the game where he got injured. And then Gorsuch threw for 315 against Pueblo. Just 1 touchdown on the day, but he did a nice job of using the middle of the field, finding your inside receivers. Cody Rose, Chapman Ham, Jeremy Sundrup, and Jeff Alcorn all had big days.
Yeah, our inside receivers played well, really played well, and blocked well also. So we were happy with that phase of our offense. Outside, they did a nice job too. And Brandon, he's still learning. We had some miscues. He missed some progressions late in the game, especially on those interceptions. But things he's going to improve on. So we're hoping this week will be better.
It doesn't get any easier for the Eagles. They travel this weekend to play longtime rival University of Nebraska-Kearney. The Lopers are currently ranked 4th in Division II. There's a couple upsets in the top 10. Kearney was 7th last week, but they just moved up. Those polls came out today. And UNK is rolling. They're 5-0 for the first time in 44 years. They're outscoring teams by an average of 50-14. And they're averaging 625 yards of offense while allowing just over 320. So certainly, Coach, it's going to be a tall task in this game.
There's no doubt. Kearney's a great football team, and just like you said, Alex, I mean, their numbers show what they're doing. So very high-tempo offense. Coach Martin's doing an excellent job there, and they're running their offense and getting those kids doing things right. So it's going to be an extremely tough game for us, but I know our kids will be up for it. We've already talked about it the last 2 days, and we've we're getting ready. We're going into this one expecting to win. There's no doubt that our kids are going to fight till the end.
Coach, this is the last meeting in the foreseeable future between the two schools. Kearney, of course, is leaving the RMAC at the end of this school year to go to the MIAA. Have you talked a lot about that to your players in telling them you want to end this on a positive note?
No, not at all, Alex. I mean, this is just a big game for it's a number 4 team in the nation. I don't think them leaving the conference has much to do with it, rivalry and anything else. You have new kids come in every year. You develop different rivals throughout each year. There's plenty of teams in this league, but it's an in-state game. And don't get me wrong, it's one that a lot of our kids have in the back of their mind. So they're a great football team, just like the rest of the teams in this league. So we'll approach this game with the intensity that we do every game, and we're going to hopefully get after it.
Quarterback Jake Spitzelberger is the conductor behind Kearney's high-powered offense. He leads the team with 583 yards rushing, but he's not the only guy who's running well. Kearney has 5 players who are averaging over 5 yards a carry. Spitzelberger is also throwing it for just a shade over 264 yards a game. So, Coach, I'm sure defensive coordinator Todd Auer and his staff have probably put in extra time already with it just being Monday.
Well, you're right. I mean, all day Sunday, all day Monday. I mean, so far it's been a lot of work in there. So we're a little bit ahead of the schedule for a normal week. And, we've got to stay on track and put in a good scheme. And we're practicing up this week a little bit, shorten it down a little bit, do a little bit more team things. We're getting some new life into this. And our kids are going to respond. I met with the seniors this morning a long time, and we went through a lot of things. And we're doing things right. We're happy with where we're at right now. It's just right now, I know on defense how beat up we are. We've got to have some kids step up and assume those roles, and that's what we're counting on.
Defensively, the Lopers have kind of received a lift from UNO ceasing its program. Their leading tackler is Trey Wilberger. He's actually a Scottsbluff High graduate. He has 33 stops on the year. He was a UNO transfer. But the defense coach seems to be pretty stingy. They've only allowed 1 rushing touchdown, and 4 or 5 opponents have scored less than 14 points.
Well, they're very good. Coach Crocker is one of the better D coordinators in Division II. Always has been. So, he's always has a good scheme for us. They're not showing a lot. They don't do a lot as far as scheme-wise. They just have great players all the way around. You look at them defensively, they don't have a lot of weaknesses. Again, sound football, taking care of the penalties, taking care of those goofy turnovers we have every week. That's things we've got to do a better job with. And like I said last week, if you turn the ball over against good football teams, they're going to make you pay. And last week it took us out of some drives and kept us out of some situations where we could have kept the game close and possibly pull ahead, but it didn't happen. So we've got to start doing our jobs and take a little pride in it.
Adding to the big game feel is the game is going to be broadcast by Nebraska Educational Television on NET1 and NET HD. It's 11 o'clock kickoff Mountain Time. It's actually a noon start Central Time. The time has changed. So for those of you looking to see what time of kickoff is, it's noon Central. Coach, but just real quick before you get out of here, having this game be on television, being against a rival, are you going to have to do something to kind of help your kids maybe loosen up a little bit, or you just want them as geared up as possible for this? Hey,
this game is if you can't get geared up, play the number 4 team in the nation, you don't have a heart. So that's what it's going to come down to. So our guys will do what they have to do. Staff wise, we'll do things right. So I'm looking forward to this week. It's a chance for us to kind of rebound from some things that have been going wrong for us, and we're going to be fine.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you down there in Kearney. That is a noon kickoff Central Time. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.